Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Healing Connections podcast. This is Emmy Vadnais, and today we are going to talk about, is mindfulness or relaxation better for you? If you've spent any time engaging in or practicing meditation or mind-body practices or mind-body-spirit practices, relaxation techniques, guided imagery, breath work, in time, you'll start to discover that there's many different types of practices and techniques that can help you with relaxation, can help you manage stress, can help you lower physical pain, emotional pain, tension in the body and in the mind. And that you might start to wonder which method is best for me. And I think that ultimately that can come down to personal experience. At the same time, I recently discovered that there's some research that has compared some of these different approaches. And I have been practicing all sorts of these different types of techniques for years. I've been teaching them to people. And I've really wondered, because I've noticed that when you engage in various relaxation techniques and mindfulness or acceptance-based therapies or practices, that they virtually seem very similar in certain cases. Because when you're engaging in a relaxation technique, whether it be breath work or perhaps a progressive body relaxation where you're progressively relaxing various parts of your body by just your focus and intention, maybe from your head to your feet or your feet to your head, either thinking of a pleasant, maybe a warm feeling, maybe a color, maybe imagining the sun just moving through your body, or perhaps gently tensing and releasing various muscle groups throughout the body. You'll start to notice that your thoughts are withdrawing from maybe worry or planning or just everyday thoughts. And the thoughts become there's more space in between the thoughts, more spacious. And you can start to withdraw from some of those everyday worries that can cause tension in the mind and the body that can also be correlated with lots of different types of muscular pain. And we now know that stress can be a killer, that it can really affect our lifestyle. It can affect our relationships with ourselves, with others, and it impacts, our healthy choices or unhealthy choices. And it literally can make us sick with the ways that the cortisol and the different hormones can impact us. So I'm sure you're wondering, which is best for us? Well, it turns out that relaxation techniques and acceptance-based types of therapies, such as mindfulness or like mindfulness-based stress reduction, are virtually identical in how they can help you. So if you are engaging, like I was saying earlier, in a relaxation technique, you'll notice that you are withdrawing from all of those different thoughts, and you're able then to observe yourself, your world, your inner, your outer world, your experiences from a fresh perspective, from a place that is not so caught up in that worry and that fear and judgment. And you're able to see things from a more holistic perspective, and you can more easily have those aha moments, more easily connect with your own inner knowing. These are actually primary and classic ways to engage with connecting with your own inner knowing, your intuition, your own inner wisdom. And so if you are wanting to practice these different techniques, I would encourage you to, well, by all means, find a teacher or a practitioner or a therapist to guide you. I know there's lots of books. Obviously, I have videos. YouTube is full of them. There's so many different kinds online. But I think to kind of avoid pitfalls and to have it be more custom tailored to you, I think it's great to work with somebody, at least in the beginning, just to get you started, so you can develop a regular practice and that you can, get these benefits. And so over the years, when I've engaged in these relaxation techniques, let's just say like the relaxation response by Dr. Herb Benson, of being able to engage in whatever activity gets you into that state where you're not thinking about the past or the future. And when we then think about mindfulness, which is being in the present moment, not thinking about the past or the future, they're virtually identical. That being said, I do think that it's good to try these different techniques and see what works best for you. And also, again, from my personal experience and guiding lots of people in these approaches, life serves up all sorts of different experiences at different moments in time. And sometimes we're not prepared for what might come our way. We want things to be pleasant and lovely, but sometimes we can have significant changes in our lives. And these different approaches might serve you better or differently at different times in your life. So you might find that a guided imagery is really what is going to help you the most at a particular moment. Or maybe meaning that if you're just finding that you're really ruminating a lot and maybe imagining just being someplace special or peaceful is really what will help you to feel more pleasant. And it could also be that, and by the way, with guided imagery, which really has its roots in shamanic practices, there's so much you can do with it. It's not just for relaxation, by the way, but that's the topic for today. But you can even take it further and really access your own inner healer, your own inner guide, your inner wisdom figure, your own spirit guides, connect with whomever you want to communicate with, a current or past loved one, or God, or angels, or whomever you feel, your guardian angels, you feel you want to communicate with to assist you. And there's great power in that this can really help you to feel more confident, maybe more in control of a situation, more relaxed, because you now have maybe an answer or a solution into something that was troubling you. And so guided imagery has a lot of different applications. And so that's why I think it's good to find, to explore that and to find which ones you like. And, some people will pick one technique and that's all they do. But I think that can be helpful to have a variety if you want, so that at different moments in your life, you can pull that up and use that for your own self-care, your own personal development, your own consciousness expansion, healing, which I'm pretty convinced at this point that healing really is synonymous with consciousness expansion or development. We're all learning, and through various experiences, we learn. And so, having these challenging experiences that make us dig more deeply can really serve us and benefit us. And these various relaxation techniques, they can help to not only prevent certain diseases or illness or disharmony in your mind, your body, and your spirit. They can also help you to manage symptoms if you are experiencing some type of health condition. And there's even research that it can help you to recover from various health conditions as well. So staying on the topic here for today, when we then look at these relaxation techniques that help us to really detach from worry and stress and so forth, we can come more into our own center. And mindfulness does this as well, in that we're, in fact, beginning with the mindfulness strategies that I've seen many practitioners teach, it often starts with what's called a body scan, which is essentially very similar to a progressive body relaxation, where you're just observing different parts of your body. For many years, relaxation techniques have been taught to help people feel more relaxed. And I think a trend sort of happened when mindfulness got more popular, to let go of trying to relax, because I think some people could get caught up in that trying to relax. When you engage in a progressive body relaxation, it's very similar to what's known in mindfulness as a body scan. You are inviting in a relaxing image or a color or a feeling and progressively letting that move through different parts of your body. In mindfulness, it often begins with a body scan, which is simply observing each part of the body progressively from the head to the feet or feet to the head, just like a progressive relaxation, from a place of non-judgment, from a place really of letting go, which is what relaxation is all about, isn't it? It's letting go and allowing yourself to just be present in the moment. So I recently took a seminar and learned that these acceptance-based behavior therapies like mindfulness and applied relaxation, like abdominal breathing, progressive relaxation, guided imagery, that they are basically identical in helping people to lower anxiety, worry, depression, and that it seems that they also help people to have a better overall quality of life, which isn't surprising to me at all, but it's really neat to see that. And I'll go ahead and put a link to this research study, which I think I've got the right one here. It's a randomized clinical trial comparing an acceptance-based behavior therapy to applied relaxation for generalized anxiety disorder. So I'll go ahead and put a link up for that for you, and you can check that out yourself. I will say that, like I was saying earlier, I think it's good to practice these different techniques and see what works for you, see what you gravitate toward, because at different times in your life, there might be different approaches that you enjoy more than others. And I know for me, at different times in my life, for example, maybe I've had moments where I've had insomnia, and listening to a special place guided imagery has really helped me to fall back asleep, because it's essentially just imagining being someplace really lovely, relaxing, or peaceful, like at a beach or maybe in the mountains, or maybe even just in your own home, or maybe it's a pleasant memory. And that can help us feel more relaxed, and you can drift off to sleep more easily that way. And I do think that acceptance-based approaches such as mindfulness can be helpful, particularly for loving and accepting yourself. I have done so many sessions with people with all sorts of health conditions, from cancer to all sorts of different joint and bone challenges, mental health conditions. And while they have maybe a multitude of different reasons why the person is experiencing that, at the core, there often seems to be a lack of self-love and self-acceptance. There seems to be some area or multiple areas where the person is rejecting themselves. And so what I found with mindfulness or mindfulness-based types of approaches or acceptance approaches, another great one is emotional freedom technique, EFT, that you are loving and accepting yourself and being okay with yourself. And again, when we do that, if you think about when we're not okay with ourselves, when we're judging ourselves, when we're critical of ourselves, and yes, there are times that we do need to, we want to do our best, right? So it's good to strive to be the best version of ourselves, for sure. But if we are putting ourselves down, if we're being critical, if we're so hard on ourselves that we're not even starting the task, or we maybe have a project that we want to do, or me even doing this podcast today, I have to let go of what you all might think of me, of just, I'm going to go for it. This is the information I want to put out. This is information that I think is helpful for people. So I'm going to do it. If I worried too much about what other people think, which there were years that I did that, I wouldn't put myself out sharing this information. I would recoil and just think that it doesn't matter. No one's going to care what I have to say, or whatever kind of self-critical things I might say in my mind. And so we want to be able to accept ourselves so that you can or I want you to be able to accept yourself so that you can achieve what you want to achieve, and not have any self-limiting behaviors that stop you from being fully self-expressed, from accomplishing those tasks you want to accomplish, from, to realizing your dreams, whatever that may be in your life. And I'm going to guarantee you that the more that you love and accept yourself, the more that you are going to be able to have a more fulfilling life, a more joyful life, a more peaceful life. And that is the benefit of these acceptance-based approaches like mindfulness. So while there is this great research showing that relaxation techniques and mindfulness or acceptance-based approaches like mindfulness are very similar in how they can help with reducing worry, anxiety, and depression, just know that you might use these different approaches at different times for slightly different outcomes. And so I actually practice both myself, probably not a surprise to you. And they've served me well. That I continue to, find deeper nooks and crannies and ways that I can go further with that, even though I've been doing this for many years. And I hope that you also get that benefit as well, and that you do explore some of these approaches, because stress, anxiety, depression is truly epidemic at the moment. And we all need to be kinder to ourselves. We all need to be kinder to each other. And I really do believe that being kinder and having a kinder world really begins with each of us. It begins with you. And it begins with how you feel with yourself. Because if you are at odds and in disharmony with yourself, how do you think you're going to be treating other people, consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously? Meaning that you might be blaming others for how you feel, when you maybe do feel that way from maybe some past unresolved grief, wounds, trauma that need to be worked out for you. And the more that you can come into loving and accepting yourself, the more that you can love and accept others. And the more that, we can all just have a more joyful world. And I know that sounds maybe a bit utopian. I am certainly an idealist in that regard. It's going to keep me going. I'm going to keep talking about these things because I think that it's really important for all of us. So I hope this was helpful for you to find that you can use these various approaches, and that they all seem to show great benefit for helping lower stress, which is correlated, which I'm not talking too much about today, but I probably should do a podcast on pain, physical pain as well, which is correlated with emotional pain. But when we lower our stress, AKA anxiety, we are less likely to experience physical pain as well. There's a strong correlation with that. So there's a lot of great benefit there. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope that you are able to go deeper into this within yourself and find more peace, love, and joy. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And until we meet next time, be well. Bye for now.